good day to each and every single one of you. My name is Israel Josie, and you are tuned into Sacred Planets, Astrology of the Soul. And today I want to talk about the new moon in Pisces. And I'm going to go through all of the zodiac signs, letting you know. I'm going to go through the rising signs, as a matter of fact. So do bear with me. If you don't know your rising sign, do try to find that out. You can go to websites like astro.com. It's a very, very good one. And you can find out your rising sign. So I'm going to be doing it from the rising sign, and I'll be going through the different houses, letting you know which particular area of life that this new moon is going to be planting something new for you over the course of the next month. It's a new moon in Pisces. So we got the two fish, going in different directions, or sometimes going in a circle, and one in front, one behind, so to speak. So Pisces is a water sign. It's the last zodiac sign. So Pisces is sort of like the womb, that all the first 11 zodiac sign, they're all encapsulated in the womb of Pisces. It's one of the ways mythologically it tends to be looked at. So Pisces it's a water sign. So we know that it's very, very highly sensitive. Being that Pisces is the last zodiac sign, there is an element of endings. We also have to remember that Pisces is the zodiac sign that gives us the end for us in the Northern Hemisphere. It gives us the ending of the winter season, because by the end of March, we're going to witness, obviously, a new season with Aries. So things started to warm up for us. The animals are going to start to come out of hibernation. So there's something that's synchronous with endings that is with the sign of Pisces. But what's quite interesting with this particular new moon is that a new moon is a time, it's like a new beginning. So we're kind of between like two thresholds there. It's like an ending and a new beginning. So this is a really good time, of the year, really good opportunity of the year. And we'll remember in 2 weeks' time from now, at the end of March, around about the 27th of March, I believe, we're going to be having, in the Jewish celebration, for example, we're going to be having like the Passover, Pesach. And Pesach is like that, ushering again that new energy in, that spring energy. For many of us, we're going to be doing what's known as spring cleaning during this particular time, where we're cleaning out the closet, where we're perhaps getting rid of maybe clothes or shoes or foods that have been in the cupboard for a long time. And this is the time so hence the term spring cleaning, which is like a general thing. So this is the time of the year where we're ushering that new energy. So it's like the end of the old. It's a great time to perhaps release, certain burdens or certain maybe feelings that may be weighing us down in some kind of way. So this can be really a great time for that. I recently did a podcast. Shout out to Chris Brennan. You'll check out Chris Brennan's podcast, astrology podcast. I recently did a podcast with Chris on the moon. Very interesting. So it's all about moon energy at the moment. I'm very lunar orientated. I'm born in the night, so hey, that's my planet. But yeah. So shout outs to Chris Brennan. Do check out Chris Brennan's YouTube channel. Like I said, we did a podcast recently, just like last week, on the moon. So you can go and check that out and find out more details about the moon. But a moon, essentially, on a symbolic level, on a simplistic level, is the planet that is the nurturer. It represents the nurturing aspect of us. It's the container. It's the planet that anchors us here on planet Earth. It gives us a sense of grounding, our ability to feel nurtured, to have a sense of belonging, to live somewhere, to eat, to have clothes on our back, is all centered all around the moon. So the moon is very, very crucial in her movements as she goes through the different zodiac signs and as we experience new moons and full moons throughout the year. So that moon is letting us know where, especially in our physical lives, but also in our emotional, psychological lives also as well, and even mental lives as well, which particular area of life that we need to sort of like, you know, end of one cycle, beginning of another. So we have new moons, full moons, back again, new moons again, then another full moon. So in 2 weeks time from now, we're going to have a full moon. And then 2 weeks later, then it'll be another new moon. So every 28, 29 days, we will have a new moon. And every 29, 30 days, we'll have a new moon. And same with the full moon also as well. So this new moon is particularly quite important. I don't want to say it's more important than other new moons, but it's quite significant in terms of the timing when it comes. Like I said, it's in the sign of Pisces. It's the last zodiac sign. We're getting ready, or you know, in a few weeks' time, we're going to be having the season of Aries approaching us. So this is a time that is really symbolizing end of the old and planting the seeds, preparing for the new, for when we move into the spring season. So, and you know, the moon is quite highly sensitive anyway, as many of you may know. So this is going to be like, you know, in Pisces, it's, you know, the sensitivity is definitely going to be heightened. Because again, Pisces is a water sign. Pisces is known for being sensitive. If any of you who are Pisces who are watching this know that, you know what I'm talking about. So with the moon being in Pisces, it's definitely going to heighten that sensitivity in many ways. So if you're feeling very sensitive around this particular time, you know, don't worry about it. Learn to swim, learn to go with the flow. That's what Pisces is about. Pisces is that zodiac sign that's full of fluidity. It loves the fluidity. So it loves to swim, just how fish do. They swim, they go back and forth, you know. So you got to learn to ride those waves, so to speak. So let's go through each of the zodiac signs to see how this new moon is going to be affecting each and every single one of us. If you haven't liked or hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. Yeah, man, support the channel. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your, you know, tell everybody, and support the channel. So I'm going to go through the 12 signs of the zodiac. I'm going to be speaking particularly about the rising signs. If you don't know your rising sign, then you listen to the one that's dealing with your sun sign, okay? If you have no knowledge of your rising sign. If you want some information more on your rising sign, do go to like websites like astro.com. I can fully vouch for them, trust me. You can get your chart done there, and you put in your date of birth and your time, and then we'll be able to find you a rising sign. If you are in a particular situation where you don't know your time of birth, you don't know whether you're born day or night, that's okay. When you're listening to this, wherever it is you're listening to, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or wherever, look at it from your sun sign. So wait until I get to the zodiac sign where your sun is, and you listen to that particular section, and that will apply to you. Okay. So new moon in Pisces. So let's start with the first zodiac sign, Aries, of course. So Aries, for you, the new moon in Pisces is going to be in your 12th house. The 12th house is a really behind the scenes kind of house. It's the house of seclusion. It's the house of the inner workings. 12th house is also connected with ancestors also as well. 12th house is really a house that is dealing with something from the past. So what you may find with this new moon over the course of the next month, and just to let you guys know that the new moon does go on for, you know, it lasts for a whole month. What you're going to find over the period of the next month is that you're drawn into this particular behind the scenes, perhaps in a very seclusive place. It can be a very good place for you, Aries people, to really retreat from the world, try to get away from the mundane world. Sometimes we all need that. We all want that, I just want to, stay home, or I just want to travel somewhere or go somewhere where it's more of a retreat kind of lifestyle. Even if it's a holiday, it's more of a retreat kind of holiday. So where you're kind of like behind the scenes, it gives you a time to really focus on your inner world, to reflect, to perhaps over the last year, over the last month, what you've been doing. Because for you, Aries, as we know, coming up in the next week or two, we're going to be moving into the season of Aries. So this is a great time where you can really sort of like, right, start to let go. So that's what it's going to be for you, Aries people. So you've got the 12th house. Great time to reflect. A great time to do perhaps maybe even some connection with your ancestors, perhaps. That can be done in any way. Also looking at perhaps maybe talents that you're not aware that you have them. That can be also a wonderful time for you to engage in those particular activities. So, trying to dig deep into that subconscious, focusing on your dreams. Dreams are messages, symbolic messages for us. So you can focus on your dreams, perhaps doing like dream work, maybe doing healing. 12 hours is also good for things like charity. So maybe, carrying out some acts of charity for people who are perhaps in less beneficial states. So that's what it's going to be for you, Aries people. Let's move on to the next zodiac sign. So Taurus, for you guys who are Taurus rising, remember I'm dealing with the rising signs. So for Taurus rising, this new moon in Pisces is going to be in your 11th house. The 11th house is a great house. It's a house of friends, acquaintances, people who are of great benefit to you in life. The 11th house it's a very social house. It's quite humanitarian or humanistic, we could kind of say, because of its social contacts, because your colleagues, your friends, and people who you network with. That's what the 11th house is about. Your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. This is the house where it is. So we got a new moon here, so you can really start planting a new seed here, a new energy that would be very good for perhaps linking with new people in your life, connecting with new people who are of great benefit for you, perhaps maybe building your social network. If you're into, whether it's your Instagram, your Twitters and stuff like that, this could be a great time where you can plant seeds that can really, really allow that to really grow. And remember, it's in Pisces, so it's very fertile, So the 11th house is a really good house. 11th house is also known to be the house of gains as well. So what you also may find yourself doing over the course of the next month is that you're focusing on, sort of like monetary gains or gains that are associated or connected with your work and things like that. But that's what it's about. You may find yourself acting or being drawn to participate in group or teamwork or, socializing, maybe attending a party, depending where you are, again, in terms of the social distancing. So yeah, you want to watch out for that. But, for Taurus rising people, it's all about the 11th house, which is a really good house, a house of friends, a house of colleagues, a house of people who are of great benefit to you, a house that really strengthens and widens your networking circle. The house, because the 11th house is also connected with those people who share the same mindset as you. Are you a part of a group, or you're part of a club that, that you have something in common with, a group of people. So you may find situations and things to do with that coming up for you over the course of the next month, but also planting the seeds where you can widen, grow, develop. Maybe you are a leader or you run a club or an organization. This can be a great time for you to plant some seeds where you can perhaps maybe expand that and expand your networking. So it's really going to be great for those people who are Taurus rising. If we move to the next zodiac sign, which is Gemini rising people. So for Gemini rising, it's going to be in your 10th house. This is the house of your career. This is your profession. This is what you do in the outside world, your public status, your rank. So again, we got a new moon. We're planting a new energy there. So for you Geminis, what you may find over the course of the next month, you may get a feeling of perhaps maybe wanting to change your job, or there may be, depending where you work, the kind of department where you work, you may want to go maybe for a promotion, or want to be taken, or consider maybe going to a different department, or like I said, a whole new job altogether, or a change of career perhaps. Maybe you're fed up where you are. So again, the new moon in Pisces will allow you to perhaps plant that seed for that to be able to happen. It could be that there's just going to be changes within your work. You're staying in the same place, you're staying in the same job, but perhaps maybe there's just some changes, maybe due to the COVID situations as well. We know a lot of people are being affected, their work, their jobs, their careers are being affected by the COVID, by the lockdown, depending which country that you were in. Some countries are being affected more than others, but it's fair to say that the whole world is being affected by the COVID situation in some way, shape, or form. So for you Geminis, it's all about that 10th house. It's all about that career. It's all about your public status. It's all about that, perhaps maybe that promotion in the workplace. It's all about also people in positions of authority, because the 10th house is the house of authority. So we may see maybe some changes with managers or managerial positions, perhaps changing, which affects your work or your career in some kind of way, your profession in some kind of way. But with the new moon in Pisces, for you Gemini rising people, this is going to be a very good time to perhaps maybe plant new seeds, to focus your energy in and around that. Next zodiac sign is Cancer. So for you who are Cancer rising people, you're going to have the 9th house. The 9th house is the house of philosophy, long distance traveling. The 9th house is the house of where we broaden our perspective on life. It's also connected with spirituality, adventure. It's where we encounter a particular circumstance that broadens our perspective. It's very often connected with long distance traveling, but again, depending which country you're in, maybe there may not be an opportunity to be able to jump on a plane and travel. Maybe you could travel by train perhaps, or by car, maybe drive to another country. So that's possible, because there is a sense of adventure with the 9th house. But there's going to be, what you're going to find with this new moon, it's like there's going to be this strong urge, or this a very strong emotional pull to want to seek some kind of adventure, to want to broaden your perspective. It could be you could just pick up a book and have a good interest and study something. You could be considering maybe doing a course or going back to university perhaps. That is also very likely too with the 9th house. There could be situations where you just feel more drawn to some kind of philosophical or spiritual teaching perhaps, and you want to widen up to that. The 9th house is also the house of astrology, which is what I'm talking about now. So there may be an attraction towards astrology. You may want to consider start taking an astrology course or attend an astrology workshop perhaps. 9th house is also science. So there may be situations also, it could be science that you could be studying, any kind of scientific subject. Again, it's all 9th house. It's the 9th house, it's the house of higher knowledge. So for Cancer rising people, this is where the new seed is going to be planted. Whether you want to go on holiday, whether you want to seek some adventure, anywhere where you can broaden your perspective on life and broaden your horizons on life is what that 9th house is about. So that's where the new moon is going to be for you Cancer rising people. Let's move on to the next zodiac sign, Leo. So for Leo rising, the great lions, the majestics. So you're getting the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of other people's resources, other people's energy, other people's money. So again, we got the new moon there in Pisces. So something new developing, something planting a new seed. So this could be to do with connections with tax, inheritance. It could be to do with investments. It could be to do with your partner's money. There may be some changes or significant things that you experience over the course of the next month that is connected with your partner's money and how your partner makes money and things of that nature. It could be also stuff to do with PPI, insurance, anything that involves other people's money. Maybe your mortgage, your credit card. You're likely to see some significant changes in regards to that over the course of the next month for you Leo rising people. So it's all going to be about the 8th house, energy that you're tapping into, where there's going to be a new moon being planted in that particular house for you. So the 8th house is good. The 8th house is also known as the house of death. So for you, Leo rising, this can be a great month. So it's not necessarily a physical death, although you could maybe hear of a death of some sort. But it's not it's more of a metaphorical death. We all have to go through some kind of death where we have to, like I was saying earlier on, end of the old, in with the new. So that could be quite fitting for you Leo rising people. You could witness like an end of something in your life that you've got to let go of. And again, because it's in Pisces, that's quite good. And the particular time of the year, because it's the last zodiac sign. So because it's happening into your 8th house, there may be something, it can be a stuff where you can clear, so maybe it could be just something emotional baggage. So don't look too heavy or too deep into it, because again, every individual chart is different. But the fact that the 8th house is being highlighted, again, we're dealing with things that are let go, let go of them, release them. There may be a death, there may be a turning point. But all those other things are said, but in connection with other people's resources, other people's money, is what we may get with the 8th house situation. Next zodiac sign is Virgo. So for you Virgo rising, you're getting the opposite house. So you're getting the 7th house. So the 7th house is the house of relationships. It's the house of partnerships. It's the house of marriage. So for Virgo rising people, they will witness something, again, planting a new seed. So for example, if you're Virgo rising and you're single, we may see a catalyst, sort of like a spark of something new that's, edging you towards a new relationship. If you are already married, it could be that there's it's like something new being planted in your marriage life, so for it to grow. So even though you are married, it doesn't mean that relationship should not grow. It's not meant to stay static. We're meant to be growing every day, even if you are in a relationship. So this can be very good for you, really sort of like planting something that can allow your relationship to grow, to develop. It's partnerships on all levels. So it's not just marriage. It can be people who you're in business with. For the Virgo rising, it could be like having a new partner in your business. It could be signing a new contract, a new negotiation. 7th house is the house of contracts, negotiations. So there may be something around negotiations and contracts that come up for you Virgo rising people. Perhaps you want to get something done in terms of a contract. This could be a very good month with that new moon. It's allowing you to plant the new seed. So what you're going to see is that there's a new energy in and around your relationship life, whether it's partnerships, whether it's a marriage. Either way, we're going to be seeing something in and around that area for you guys who are Virgo rising. Next zodiac sign, Libra, for Libra rising. So for the Libra rising, you're getting the 6th house. 6th house is the house of illness, disease. It's the house of work. It's the house where you have to fix things. So for Libra rising, this can be a very good month. It's a new moon, a new start. So this could be really good for having a new diet plan, adding new nutrition into your into your daily routines. It's, the 6th house is to do with your daily routines. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? So it will and can also affect your work life as well. So we may see changes in your work life, in and around your work life. So yeah, so do watch out for the work life being activated, and maybe some changes around that. And I'm talking like the details of what you do on a day-to-day. There could be, again, a new seed is being planted there. And again, also in regards of your health, this can be a great time to perhaps maybe kick some habits. If you're maybe a smoker, or and I'm not telling you how to live your life, but maybe you're a smoker. Maybe we've all got quote unquote bad habits, so to speak. So the sixth house can indicate those, kicking that habit, giving up smoking, giving up drinking, maybe eating certain foods that are not so great for you, that are less nutritious, and incorporating foods that are much more nutritious. So that could be really great for you, Libra rising people, since you got that sixth house. So it's all about the sixth house. It's all about your health. It's all about your well-being. It's all about your diet, and it's all about the work that you do on a day-to-day level, your routines, whatever you need to fix in life. So for you, Libra rising, if you've got anything you need to fix in life, this is the month to get that done. And having that new moon there is going to initiate that. It's going to have that spark there for you. Next zodiac sign is Scorpio. So Scorpio rising. So for anybody who's Scorpio rising, you're getting the fifth house. You guys get the best house. The fifth house is known as the house of great fortune. It's to do with love, romance. It's connected with children. It's the kiss and tell house. It's the fun house. It's the party house. It's having a good time house. So for Scorpio rising, you may witness that over the course of the next month, like there's something new in and around your love life, your sex life, your romantic life. Also as well, the fifth house is also the house of hobbies. So you may discover a new hobby, like, okay, or it may be a rediscovery of a hobby. It may be something that you did as a child. You played the piano, you played the guitar, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm getting a feel for this. It's like, oh, I'm getting back into my guitar playing. I haven't played it for years or months. And then you're getting back into it, or playing the piano, or maybe football, or whatever hobby is for you, whatever it is you're passionate about. The fifth house shows us particular areas of life where we are passionate about something. The fifth house is where we have a certain kind of, where we feel like invincible, where you get your mojo, so to speak. So it's the house of, good fortune, good luck, that kind of thing. It's also the house of speculation. So by having the new moon there in Pisces, for you Scorpio rising people, what you're going to find is that those particular activities are perhaps going to be somewhat a bit more dominant, or a bit more at the forefront over the course of the next month. There's a large part of like attention that's sparked in that particular house there for you. So do watch out for your fifth house activities, your love life. If you're wanting children or trying for children, over the course of the next month could be really, really good for you with the new moon in Pisces in the fifth house. And Pisces is very fertile. So that it increases your chances of perhaps being able to have a child, or to fall in love, or to stimulate your love life or your sex life. These are the kinds of things that you can focus on. And Scorpio rising, Scorpio is often associated with sex. So, it's quite in your ballpark. So you can definitely work with that. But also your creative outlets also as well. Perhaps maybe finding a new creative outlet, because the fifth house is also our creative expression also as well. So finding a new passion and finding something creative that you're passionate about is something, again, new seed, new moon in Pisces. We want the newness, end of the old. Whatever the old creativity, whatever's been your end of that, let's plant something new in your fifth house now. Let's move on to the next zodiac sign, which is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you are having Sagittarius rising. Have to make that. If you don't know your rising sign, then of course, then it's Sagittarius, your sun sign. Sagittarius, you are having the fourth house. So fourth house, it's about the home, it's the domestic arena, it's to do with family, it's to do with home. So again, you're planting a new seed. So this could be a good advantage perhaps to move home, maybe redecorate the home, refurbish the home. And I was mentioning earlier on about spring cleaning because of the time of the year. Pisces is the last zodiac sign and we're getting ready to move into the spring season. So for you, Sagittarius rising is really appropriate where you can really do some spring cleaning. I'm not saying you're dirty or in any way, so please don't, don't take it in the wrong way. But I'm just saying because that new moon is landing in your fourth house, it can be and again, when I say spring cleaning, it doesn't have to be physical. It could be like emotional stuff, family stuff that you may have. Come on, let's end that. Fourth house is also the house of the father. So there may be situations also around your father, family, I suppose it includes your mother as well. But the domestic arena is where the spark is for you. And we're looking for planting that new seed. So maybe a new home, a new energy in and around the home, redecorating, refurbishing, spring cleaning the home, maybe somebody moving in, somebody moving out. You may find yourself just looking at homes over the course of the next month. You may find yourself, Sagittarius rising, like, yeah, I don't even want to live here anymore. I'm thinking about moving, let me look at some properties, things like that. So you may find that energy also quite potent for you over the course of the next month. New moon in the fourth house, really good place and very good for the domestic situation, for the home situation, for your roots, your grounding. Where is home for you? So it's all about home life, family life. That is going to be significant for you for Sagittarius rising. And let's move on to the next zodiac sign, which is Capricorn. So for Capricorn rising, you're getting the third house. Capricorn rising, you're getting the third house. The third house is the house of siblings. It's also the house of travel. It tends to be more inland traveling, but it can be also international travel also as well. So for you, Capricorn rising, you may get a sense of, I just feel like going away, or I just feel like getting in the car and driving. Third house is also connected with vehicles. So there may be a change of vehicles, perhaps changing your mode of transportation, how you commute. So are you taking more public transport, perhaps? Are you going to be taking less public transport? Are you going to buy a bike? Do you want to bike it instead of taking the car? Or are you going to buy a motorcycle? Whatever it is. It could be you buy a skateboard or a scooter, or, what's those wheels there? The unicycle, those ones that you balance on, could be a Segway, who knows? But your form of movement, your form of traveling, you will find is often emphasized. And again, it's a new moon, so there may be something new coming in that particular area. So that could be a new car, it could be a new destination, a new place where you're finding yourself driving to. That's how that new moon is going to be for you, Capricorn rising. It's also the house of siblings, so there may be also something significant about siblings that comes up. You may hear something new about your sibling, coming up, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins also as well, people who are, really close, akin to you in some kind of way, your neighbors. There may be something about neighbors. You may get new neighbors because the third house is also the house of neighbors. So you may find neighbors also, it's like, oh, I've never noticed you before. So you get a new neighbor and you, again, form a dialogue with them and get to communicate with them. And the third house sometimes is often connected with communication also as well. So there's also a learning. So again, new moon in the third house for Capricorn rising, you may find yourself learning something new, going on a course, again, an interest in a new book. So something, somewhat mental, studying orientated, learning something that can add to your social skills. So that's for Capricorn rising, for you Capricorn rising people. Again, if you don't know your time of birth, then use the sun sign. Let's move on to the next sign, which is Aquarius. Aquarius, you get in the second house. So Aquarius rising, if you are Aquarius rising, this new moon is going to be in your second house. This is the house of income, the house of finances, the house of security. Again, a new moon is being planted there. So this is giving you a chance to perhaps create a new way, a new attitude to increasing your finances, perhaps. It's planting a new way to perhaps build on your sense of security. Because the second house is that security. It's it's got an element of self-esteem even to it. A little bit like a Venus or Venusian kind of energy. But it's about that money. It's about that income. How is it coming in? How much is coming in and how much is going out? So you've got the new moon in your second house. So it's, this is what it's going to be for you over the course of the next month. What your expenditures. It's Pisces. Pisces is known for being a bit, very watery when it comes to, spending the money. Money comes in one hand and goes out the other. So again, so watching, Pisces is known for, no boundaries, so you want to be very careful with that you're not overspending. But I suppose maybe getting more money is good, getting more income is good. Second house is also somewhat connected with your talents as well. So it can also allow you to perhaps, develop your talents, look at the talents that you have and see how best you can utilize them in order to gain more income. It could be additional income or secure the income that you already have. So do look at that as well for you Aquarius rising people. And the last zodiac sign, last but not the least, is the Pisces themselves. So for you, you are the vessel for this new moon. It's the Pisces that is carrying this new moon energy, hence why you're having the first house. For the Pisces, you're a vessel. So that means your body, your physical body is going to become a vessel. So we're going to be looking at perhaps situations around health. We're going to be looking also around ways of how you're expressing yourself over the next month, the direction where you want a certain energy to go. It's really good for the Pisces because it indicates you are in charge. You are in the driver's seat. You are becoming the helmsman, the driver who is steering this particular Piscean energy in whichever direction you want it to go. And remember, like I said, Pisces is it's very fruitful. It's a very fruitful sign. It's a very fertile sign. So this indicates for you Pisces rising people that you have the ability, Pisces rising, you have the ability to really take this new moon energy and plant whatever it is you want. Whatever is there in your imagination, whatever you feel that you need to do it. You may find yourself also being attracted to perhaps maybe wanting to do more gym stuff, sign up. Well, again, depending which country. I'm in London, UK, so all the gyms are shut. But I suppose you can go jogging or you can take up daily exercising and, things like that. So again, because the first house is connected with one's physical body, one's health. So you may become a bit more health orientated, want to look good. You may want to focus maybe more on your hair and how your looks are being, presented to the world. You want to, change your wardrobe, get a new outlook, as they say, get a new fashion sense in terms of your dress. Again, so Pisces rising, you are more than entitled to such a thing, again, with a new moon in Pisces being planted. So new moon in Pisces for Pisces rising, it's almost like, it's probably fair to say, I would say it's a new you. It's a time where you can really focus on a new you, reinventing yourself, end of the old, in with the new. For Pisces rising, you are really being synchronous with the timing of the year, with the last zodiac sign being Pisces. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the end of the winter period. And again, I suppose it will be the same. It will be the same for the Southern Hemisphere and places like Australia, where again you guys are ending your season also as well. You guys will be ending your autumn season. So we're having that ending and new beginning. So for you, Pisces are, like I said, you are the vessels who are bringing in and ushering that new energy. And we're going to see that in your personality. We're going to see that in your physical well-being. We're going to see that in your physical outlook. You know, we're going to see that in your hairstyle. We're going to see you carrying that energy where you kind of can become a leader in some kind of way for the rest of us to follow. You know, you can become an inspiration, so to speak. So that's the 12 signs of the zodiac with the new moon in Pisces. So you all guys all enjoy. Like I said, likely, you know, sensitivity is going to be high, especially amongst you water signs, for Cancer, you know, Scorpios, Pisces. You guys who, or people who have planets very dominant in those signs, will often, you know, really feel the effects of you know, this particular kind of period. But like I said, it's a new, and it may be something that you can't even fully understand. You know, sometimes Pisces is a little bit like, where am I going? You know, it's a bit foggy. You know, it's not clear. But don't worry about it. Things will become clear over the next 2 weeks when we have the full moon coming up in 2 weeks' time in Libra. Something will definitely come to fruition around that time. But like I said, those houses that I've pointed out to you based on your star sign will, are going to be where the focus is going to be over the period of the next month. So that's me done and dusted. Thanks a lot for tuning in, for logging in. Sacred Planets, Astrology of the Soul. If you haven't subscribed, do hit that subscribe button. Do hit the like button. If you have any comments, do leave comments at the bottom. I'll be sure to get back to you and to respond to you as best as I can and as fast as I can. You know, I haven't been around for a minute, so yeah. So hopefully we're getting back. New Moon in Pisces is getting me back, so that's good. Like I said, shout out to Chris Brennan. If you haven't seen the podcast with me and Chris Brennan, do go and check that out. You know, it's about three and a bit hours, you know, so we really went in on the moon. So and get like another for you guys, especially if you're beginners, to try and get an understanding of the moon. Moon is very vital. Moon is very, very important to us. We know the moon rules the waters, rules the tides. Remember, our body is 75% water, so that moon is constantly, hence why we're very emotional and we're very instinctual and we're down with our emotions, and affects our mental orientation and our mind and how we express ourselves emotionally. So find out about that moon. That moon's important. It's the great mother. It's the great matrix. It's the great container. It's the great anchor. It's the great mother, the moon. So on that note, thank you very much, guys. And I will catch you up soon. I'll also be releasing some tarot and geomancy videos also as well, like I have been. I know I haven't done some in a while, but do look out for the tarot and for the geomancy coming shortly at a cinema near you. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Enjoy.